Hey ladies, guess what? It's Insemination Day. So I'm coming to you from my bathroom today. It is like 1:30 in the morning. I'll explain. It is cycle 8, and with it being 1:30 in the morning, it is officially cycle day 12, but it is just barely cycle day 12. So, I'm not going to go through all of the step-by-step. If you want to know the step-by-step of how I'm doing this insemination from box pop to the whole shebang, check out my last insemination video right here. But basically, where I am right now is it's David Donor Day, and he is currently thawing in the warm water. Don't mind, it's not that I drink, you know, there's a stigma around the red cups, right? Well, my kitchen is red, okay? So I always buy red cups because it matches the kitchen, okay? Okay. Just in case you were wondering. But yeah, he is thawing. He's probably got about another 10 minutes to go to thaw. Oh gosh. So I'm not going to be covering everything from top to bottom today, but that's because I wanted to focus this video on ferning. That's what this video is really going to be about, ferning and my insemination. So, what's going on, why I'm doing this at 1 o'clock in the morning, is because I started to get my LH surge over the course of my cycle day 11. I woke up in the morning and everything was normal. I put my ferning sample on the microscope, and then I came into the bathroom and peed in a cup. Took my OPK strip as well as my clear blue digital. Now, clear blue digital came in low, and the OPK strip came in with a faint line. I did take a strip the evening of cycle day 10, which had a stronger line, so I expected a stronger line this morning. So I figured, you know, maybe because I had some water right before I went to bed, you know, I don't know, maybe it was diluted and it just wasn't ready yet. At any rate, I went back into the room, checked on my ferning sample. It still looked partial, as in partial ferning. And I was taking pictures because I'm documenting for you guys as well as for my acupuncturist, because she's interested in the pictures too. So sometimes with the ferning, since you don't have to use, you know, the first saliva, there's no such thing as the first morning saliva, right? So I thought that my sample maybe wasn't as good as it was the day before, because I had some really good partial ferning pics the day before. So I decided to take another sample, but some time had gone by, so maybe another 2 hours or so, right? And I felt like I needed to pee again, and that would be stronger pee. So I tried that, and by all means, it was stronger pee. So it definitely wasn't a peak on the OPK strip. But the clear blue digital then gave me a high reading, right? So this is only 2 hours later from my normal 6:30 a.m. first morning urine. So I decided to take my ferning sample again. And this time I had full ferning. So this is a change within 2 hours. Yesterday morning, just a 2 hour change. I went from partial ferning to flat out full ferning. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So I started taking pictures. And then I had this debate because I don't know very much about ferning, and I had to now decide whether full ferning meant peak for me, because everything that I've read on ferning indicates that, you know, you're either ovulating right now, or you're about to ovulate. So I really just didn't have enough to go on to determine whether I was ovulating right then, because my OPKs were not peak, like by far not peak. So I decided that I would test throughout the day. So at this point, I had taken a test at 6:30 in the morning. And well, actually I woke up at 5:30, so that test was actually at 6. So I took a test at 6 in the morning. I took another test at 8:30 in the morning. That of course got me my high on the digital, so I'm taking the Wanfo strips as well as the digitals. And I was like, okay, I went from low to high in a matter of 2 hours, right? And my LH was definitely building. So I said, okay, I'm going to test again around 12 or 1 o'clock. I got that test in about 1:30. Wanfo strip was looking closer to peak, not exactly peak. Digital, clear blue digital was still giving me high. Okay, I'll test again around 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay, fine. Come back again around 4 or 5 o'clock. And Wanfo was looking just a hair shy of peak. Clear blue digital gives me high. Okay. I am still getting full ferning, because I am taking more ferning. I'm still getting full ferning, but it seems like my estrogen is starting to back off, right? So, I don't know if this is because I've eaten, I've drinking, you know, and maybe I didn't wait a whole 2-3 hours before trying to do the ferning again. Really don't know. So I said, all right, I will test again before I go to bed. So it was already, 6:30. I wanted to give it at least another 4 hours, so that would have been 10:30, 11. So I decided to do it at 11 o'clock. Problem with that is around 1:32, I started getting discomfort, like the kind of discomfort I would get around ovulation time after a HCG trigger during my IUIs. I've never gotten this naturally, so this kind of threw me for a loop. Okay, does this mean I'm ovulating right now, or does this mean I'm ovulating soon? I mean, I am used to getting that kind of discomfort when I'm stimulated. I just don't know how ovulation is registered with that discomfort. I associate it with ovulation, but don't know if it means I'm ovulating right now or if I'm going to ovulate after all that discomfort is done. So, debate. So anyway, I wanted to take the test at 11. Depending on how that test looked, I was either going to do the insemination tonight or I was going to do it tomorrow. Problem is, I got really tired around 10:30. So now I'm starting to think, oh crap, maybe I ovulated already. The progesterone is already kicking in and I'm starting to feel tired. So I fell asleep and I woke up at 1 o'clock. And I was really trying to wait on a good urine sample. I did get some urine out. The last time I had urinated was the 6:30. So I did that, and the Wanfo was still looking maybe a hair shy from peak, but very, very close to peak. And then I tried the digital again and was trying to question, is this peak? I don't know if this is peak or not. Let's just see what it says. If it comes back peak, then I'm doing it tonight. If it comes back high, then I'll do it in the morning. So lo and behold, it came back peak at 1 o'clock in the morning. So here I am at 1:30 doing an insemination. So, you know, the things we do for TTC, right? And as I say this, I am getting a little sharp pains right around my ovary on the left side, which makes sense since I ovulated from the right side last time. So I think I'm right on time with this, like right at ovulation. So here goes nothing. So I am gonna talk to you as I sort of go through this process, but you know, I'm not really going to outline it like I did the last time. But I really wanted to focus this video, instead of making a long insemination video, but focus this video on the progression of my ferning. So stick around and we'll get to the ferning. All right, ladies, get back to you in a bit. Okay, ladies, I am back. Pre-seed is in and warmed up. I've gone through my guided hypnotherapy. And I've got Mr. in my arm here. He's nice and warmed up too. So now I move on to the soft cup. I will say, I looked at the paper. This is kind of the same batch. So 72 million, 38% motility. Sounds good to me. So on the advice of Tasha, take a time out. I'm going to do something a little different with the soft cup this time. This time I'm actually going to use the pocket so I don't spill it when I insert it. So I am just going to make a little bit more of a pocket here. And I am going to utilize it. Not the entire pocket, but a little bit of the pocket here. All right, let me put this down. Okay, so nice and warm. Spinning to mix. Oh my gosh. I feel good after that hypnotherapy. I was a little groggy before, but feeling okay now. I've got some binaural beats playing in the background. Don't know if you can hear them, but they are. Okay. So, there. Got that mixed. And I put another sample of for the Ferning microscope, and I'm going to see what that looks like once I lay down. Okay. So again, just that little bit. You can see that a little better this time anyway. There's a little bit in there, but okay. Well, here goes nothing. Be right back. Okay, ladies, I am back. I am upside down. So Mr. is in, no spillage, so yay. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna watch my fertilization video, listen to my donor conversations, my normal ritual for inseminations, and then I will come back to you and let you know what the Ferning microscope said tonight, and we'll talk about my ferning for this cycle. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Hey, ladies. Okay, so let's talk about the Ferning microscope. Pretty little thing, right? It's by Fertile Focus. I got mine on Amazon through Fairhaven Health. So, essentially how you use this. So this cap comes off. Okay. This is the little viewer. And that comes off, right? You literally just pull it off Okay? And on the underside of this, this is where you put your sample, on the underside, right? You take saliva from under your tongue, you put it on here, you give it some time to dry. It takes about 5 minutes. It just really depends. What I will say, what I've been doing is, as part of my morning ritual, since I'm already taking my temperature with the thermometer, what I would do is, after I'm done taking my temperature, I would use the tip of the thermometer to, well, first of all, you want to swallow a few times, because saliva can get in your mouth. It can be stale. It doesn't make for a good sample, right? So you want to make sure you swallow a few times, sort of, you know, cleanse everything in your mouth as much as you can. I mean, it's before you brush your teeth. And then you kind of want to, you know, develop some saliva. Your salivary glands are actually under your tongue. So that's where your saliva comes from in the first place. So you kind of want to wait. It can be hard in the morning, especially if you have a little bit of a dry mouth. So, you know, you kind of want to get a little saliva under your tongue. And then basically just kind of scoop some saliva up. So you're going to kind of scoop it up on the sides and then basically tap a drop on there. That's been working really well for me. Some people say, you know, use your finger. I don't know. I don't feel like I can really scoop saliva up with my finger. But you really don't need very much, okay? Now, how they instruct you to use this is, once it's dried, you put this back, right? And then you can turn this light on. When you turn this light on, you can kind of see inside the viewfinder. I don't have a sample in here, but essentially that's what you do. Don't be like me. You can focus the microscope, right? But when I purchased this, the focusing part was really tight, okay? And I wasn't exactly sure how much I could turn it, because they tell you not to spin it to try to take it out. So I wasn't turning it very much. So I wasn't seeing very much. But in all actuality, this here, it's totally spins, okay? I mean, it unscrews to a point where it can actually screw off. All right? So I want you to be very careful about that and understand that, because I wasted a whole cycle with this because I didn't know how to properly focus. So now you know how to properly focus. I got some great pictures this cycle. I will say it was incredibly difficult to take the pictures through here with this green light. So, you know, I took the pictures with my phone, right? So you kind of put this like up against the camera lens, and you can see, but it is incredibly difficult because you have to hold this little button here to get the light. And then you want to focus, and then you're holding the phone too. That just presented a whole lot of problems for me. So what I realized in some of my research is that they say the LED light in here can go out. And once the light goes out, a lot of women think they can't use the scope anymore. And in all actuality, the LED is just a light source, right? So what I thought of doing is just using the light in the room. So I have like a ceiling fan right here, and it's got a light. So what I do is I would point this towards that light and look through it. And I found that if I pointed it at a light source that wasn't this green thing and it wasn't in a cylinder, that I actually got a much better picture. I could see so much more. The only problem would be kind of holding this like this and trying to focus. But if you loosen the focusing part up a little bit, and you know, you kind of get used to holding it like this, then it's really not difficult at all. So that's why in the pictures that I'm going to show you, they're going to start out green because of the little green LED light in here. But then they're going to be kind of yellowish white, and that's because I moved from trying to take the pictures inside of here to using the light. And I even found that even when I'm just viewing, you know, it was a lot easier for me to just use the light in the room. I found the LED light to be very bright, and it kind of hurt my eye a little bit when I first started looking. Over some time, it got a little better, but I just think my eye just got used to it. I don't know. But what I would suggest if you get this is just, you know, when it's dry, just make sure you just try not to touch this, you know, and just hold it up to some light, you know, and then focus. And you will see great pictures. Now, in order to take the pictures like I did on my phone, what I would do is, of course, hold this part up to the camera lens on the back of my phone, because that's the better camera. I do have a Galaxy S7 Edge, and it has a really great, I think it's like 12 or 14 pixels. I don't know how many pixels it is, but it's got a really great camera on it. So I would zoom the camera in by 3 times. And then basically I would hold the phone up so that I could get the light through here. So what's probably the most difficult part is getting the light through the right angle on this side. So I do still have to hold it up. It's just like I'm looking at it myself. I have to do the same thing with the phone and hold the phone and hit the button to take the picture. It's complicated, but it can be done, and I got some really awesome pictures that you're about to see. And I even was able to take yesterday morning, granted it's 4 o'clock in the morning right now, but on cycle day 12. But in the morning of cycle day 11, when I got my full ferning, I was so excited about it. I kept taking saliva samples, and the curiosity in me is always there. So I wondered if I could catch the crystallization happening. So that's what I did. And the first time I was just looking through it with my eye, and oh my gosh, it was so cool and so beautiful, and I was just like, man, I need to get this on video, right? So that's what I did. Did it a few more times, trying to catch the moment of crystallization of the saliva, and I have that video for you too. So you definitely want to do that. You want to stick around for that. So what's my take on this microscope? In reality, I still don't know. I haven't done a whole cycle. This is the first time I was able to focus and really see what was going on in the microscope. And so I don't know what it looks like for me in relation to my cycle, which is why I couldn't rely on it totally for my insemination. So that kind of stunk, but you know, I'll know, you know, in the event that I want to do an insemination another time. I don't know. Maybe for my, I don't know. I don't know. If I have another child and I'm working on it with someone else, or if I'm trying to do another home insemination or something, I know what to do now. I know what to do. But this was really cool, this cycle. I'm so happy that I could see. But I will say that I made some rookie mistakes with it, right? So what you're going to see in the last part of this video is some my images from cycle day 7 up until tonight. And I'm going to show you what my ferning looked like at time of insemination, right? So I will say that I believe on cycle day 7, when I was checking, I had what looked like partial ferning. In reality, it was actually non-fertile. It's hard to describe it, and you'll see, but just when you look through the video, just take a look at cycle day 7. Understand that it looks like there may have been the start of some ferning because the lines are there, but I was not fertile on cycle day 7, like at all. So I just want to say, you know, you want to make sure that you understand that, because even last cycle I saw like little crosses, but I never really saw for a fern pattern, and that's because I didn't know how to focus. So once you see a ferning pattern, oh, you know that that is ferning. And I'm going to show you the progression of my images from cycle day 7 all the way to tonight, because you will see, you will notice the drastic difference between the cycle 7 images. Even though they're green, that was before I figured out the room light business, but you will notice the drastic difference in that those lines that appeared to be ferning. Even my acupuncturist thought it was ferning, but she's not all that familiar with ferning, so she's a rookie just like I'm a rookie. So I felt that it was partial ferning. She thought that it was definitely ferning. You know, it wasn't the kind of ferning that I saw later, that's for sure. And also, in my additional research on using the microscope, I also found out that, you know, you can have surges of estrogen during different parts of your cycle. Some get a surge of estrogen towards the end of their cycle, and we'll see ferning in the microscope if you're taking it at that time. And I don't know. I think if I get the opportunity, I'd like to use the Ferning microscope from day 1 to the last day of my cycle, just to kind of get the progression. Hopefully I gotta wait 10 months before I can do it, right? Since I just inseminated, but you know, I kind of want to see, and I am going to keep up with this until ovulation is detected. So till my temperature spikes, I'm going to keep up with this and just kind of see how it progresses down, because you go from full ferning, and then, you know, because what you'll see in the image from tonight, it appears to be full ferning, but it's not the entire sample, I guess. So I don't know if that's really considered full ferning. I think it is, though. I think it's still considered full ferning. So at any rate, I'm going to keep this up until ovulation is detected, and then if I have to go another cycle, which, you know, after this, I'm pretty much headed towards IVF. And I will use this through an IVF cycle as well. But what I want to do is kind of catch the progression of it from completely not fertile to up into ovulation. I'd like to catch it in a natural cycle, though. So I guess if I get that opportunity, I will definitely do that, whether that be within the next couple of months or whether that will be in 10 months. So we'll see how it goes. But this was really cool, and I just can't wait for you guys to see the images that I have. So here you go. All right, so as you can see, I got some really beautiful pictures. Definitely can see the ferning and just, I don't know, they were just so cool, right? And I'm so excited that I could get nice, clear pictures for you guys. So that's all I have. This insemination is done. I'm officially in the 2-week wait. And I will just have to check in with you guys 7 or 8 DPO and let you know how I'm doing. But as of now, it is 4:04 a.m. I am tired again, and I am going to put my binaural beats on so they can play in my sleep and, you know, help my brain work with my body and hopefully make this baby this time around. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good, especially since I didn't spill anything this time. Yes. But, yep, so I'm going to head to bed, and I want to say thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the ferning portion of the video, and you learned something about another way to track ovulation. So if you have any questions for me regarding ferning, regarding the microscope, I will put a link to the Amazon item where I purchased the Ferning microscope, you know, hopefully this works. Good morning, ladies. Okay, it is 11:30 a.m. I got up this morning. Of course, I had to OBK, but because I went to bed at about 5 a.m., my basal temps are not exactly trustworthy, right? So what I did is when the alarm went off at 6:30, which is the time I usually take my basal temps, I took my temperature. My temperature actually dropped maybe 0.2 of a degree. And then I went back to sleep. And then I woke up at about 9 o'clock. I have another alarm that goes off at 9 o'clock. That alarm went off. I took my temperature again, and it was up about 0.4 of a degree. So I don't know if it was up because I took it at a different time, or if it was up because I ovulated and my temperature is starting to rise. So I don't know. I just made notes. I didn't actually put it in the chart because I don't know which one to gauge. The dip, which I usually get a dip right before ovulation, or the spike. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it empty and see what happens tomorrow. Then I got up and I went, peed in a cup, took my OPKs, and I have a definite peak on the OPK strip. Not even one that I would have to question. It was a definite peak, very strong. You know, I already got a peak on the Clear Blue Digital Advance, so it's not like I could stick that in the thing. But I use the stick anyway. That also had the stronger peak. So I started to feel like I pulled the trigger too early, right? But then I started to think about what my ferning looked like. So I've been taking my ferning this morning, and it's a little wishy-washy. I mean, the first one I took was definite partial ferning, but then after I took pictures of that one, I took pictures again, and this one had stronger ferning, but definitely backed down from the full ferning that I was getting yesterday. So what does this mean? Does this mean that I ovulate before I get an LH surge? Maybe. So maybe pulling the trigger early is not a bad thing. Maybe that's what I needed, because apparently my estrogen peaks before my LH surge, and it starts to back down, which is what I've been seeing in my ferning pattern, that it's just starting to back down. So I don't know. I mean, I was doing the ferning throughout the day yesterday, and you know, it was kind of wishy-washy, but you could see ferning across everything. I'm thinking maybe I do. Maybe I don't know if it's all the time, but like I said, I really felt that discomfort that I felt when I was being stimulated, right? And I associate that with ovulation. So I think I ovulated yesterday. And me pulling the trigger at 1:30 in the morning was probably not a bad idea. Probably not a bad idea at all. I have since pulled out the soft cup, and you know, there appeared to be some creamy mucus in there. There was also some egg white kind of mucus mixed in as well. And I had that the last time. I don't know. I do feel a lot more confident about the sample getting in there. I just don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see. 2 weeks, right? I'm officially in a 2-week wait. I don't know if I've ovulated. I have to wait until tomorrow to see what my temperature looks like, because it was so early in the morning and I didn't go to bed right away. So I can't count on my temps this morning, but we'll see. We will see. I mean, the insemination happened about 2 a.m. I got a really, really strong peak at probably 10 o'clock this morning. If I ovulated already, then waiting to see that strong peak is not in my best interest. You know, maybe the strips are not doing the job there, and I mean, it was just a hair shy of being the same shade. This morning, the test line was definitely darker, so it was a much stronger peak. But I mean, if I officially started peaking yesterday, then I didn't do a bad thing inseminating at 1 a.m. You know, I don't, at this point, I'm not sure which method is more accurate. The strips, the digital, or ferning. I mean, ferning is only giving me estrogen levels. It's not really giving me LH, but, you know, there are women who ovulate before their LH surge. Maybe I'm one of them. Maybe that's why my IUIs haven't worked, because they've always been so late. I ovulate before the surge. I don't know. I don't know. I hope. I don't know. I hope I can get some clarity in my temperatures, and that over the next 2 days I get a spike into the 98s. So I'll look for that. In the meantime,